Hello, everybody. We will start our little program here. Hey, got a couple people already signed on. Hi, Carolyn. Welcome to the box opening for June 2025, Scan and Cut. So hopefully this will be a fun one for everybody. We got a lot of stuff in it, a lot of cool projects, I think, with it. A lot of good new techniques. Hi, Tracy from Scotland. Welcome. So we'll just wait a couple minutes, get a couple more people on, and then, Scottsdale. Oh, so thought you're really far away. Welcome anyway, Tracy. And Carol from Sacramento. Got everybody from all over. Hi, Bonnie. Hey, PJ. So I know Amy's watching too. Hopefully she'll get a good connection. So, and Vicky. So that being said, I guess everybody got your boxes. And how about if I take you over to the other monitor so we could go ahead and get it started. So this is kind of a glimpse. And there's Amy from Cancun. So we got our box. And when you open it up, oops, too much fluff. So inside, you're going to get several pieces of puffy vinyl to work with. And you're going to get a funny looking piece of plastic with some paper on it. This is a custom made hanger bar for our project because inside it, and I do have directions on how to get the paper off. The paper is still on it to protect it during shipping. Okay. Inside, you're going to get a pre-made flag banner, whatever you want to call it. And the casing up on top perfectly fits our hanger bar. And of course, you're going to get some macrame cord that you can hang it with. And we do have a DTF direct to film transfer. It's a gorgeous one too. This is kind of similar to if you've gotten sweatshirts or t-shirts that have that slight vinyl feel to it, the transfer. This is what that would be like, but it's a higher grade of one. And it turns out really nice and it's really easy to use. Of course, you're going to have directions on how to log in to take the private class next week, as well as where you could download all your information for the handouts, etc. And you also have your little cheat sheet for anything else you might need for notes wise, etc. So all that's included in your box. Okay. Is there sound all right? Oh, great. Thank you, Carol. I was worried about that. Okay, voice sounds okay. All right. So you have all your information to download, your PDF files, etc. for that. And you're going to get quite a few novels. Um, there's one in there that's rather important that, and of course I lost mine. It basically, the name of it is basically Read Me First. It's like very important that, because it just kind of goes in the order of how to work with all the handouts and all the stuff you're going to get. And it goes into even like how to clean up the hanger bar and get that ready to hang, and some fun stuff with lettering. I'm not going to go into detail with that yet, and how to do some more fun stuff with the lettering. And it goes very detailed as to how to apply the DTF. And again, as when we're going to iron it, you want to press it. You don't want to iron, like sliding it back and forth. And we go into a lot of detail. There's a lot of close-ups on how to work with it so you don't have any issues. And probably you want to see the finished project. So I'm going to go and put this all back. So this is one of them. And you can see here, we got the puffy vinyl around it and a double layer of that. And we have the transfer on, and you can see it's really nice. So that's one version. And I went ahead and did a second version where I actually changed a little bit. I used a little different font and changed. Again, these are both double working with the puffy vinyl, so that I have here, I have an outline of it, and here I did it with a shadow. And then I thought, I'm going to play with it a little more, and I got a monogram on it. So Mrs. Bachman's all set to have hers out on her house whenever she's home. One of the things that we're going to go over is how to work with multiple colors of puffy vinyl and how to apply them. Because if you work with them before, you know that you can only heat them once, meaning that I can't put the black down, bond it in place, and then cover it with the green transfer and bond that on, because the black will then lift. So I found a little way that we can go ahead and do it so that we can go ahead and actually combine the two colors together and bond them both at the same time. So we're going to go into detail with that next week. So it's kind of different, kind of fun, hopefully. And we'll also go into, I found out a really kind of fun way of how to use your ScanNCut software to make it so that you have everything to scale, so that whenever you go to put your lettering on, you don't have to guess and do a trial cutout. I mean, you always could do that if you wanted to do it out of paper or cardstock, and that way you can kind of visually line it up and see it on your flag. But I found a way how we can use the software so that we can set it up so that you could see it on your laptop screen or your computer screen, wherever you're working with it, and have the lettering on it to scale to the point that when you go to cut it and put it on, it's exactly the way you pictured it on the screen. Same with the placement of the transfer. So it's kind of fun because there's a couple buttons that I've seen before, never played with them. I played with them. And it really made it a lot simpler, a lot more easier to work with. Anybody have any questions or comments? Thank you, Vicki. I'm glad you like it. It's I kind of like this because it's something different. We haven't done it before, and I like the colors that we chose for it. I actually was looking at I try to come up with a different technique. Didn't work, so I kind of changed with it. And I kind of picked up colors like the greens in the transfer. And then, of course, there was a little bit of almost not a true black, but more of a blue black. And that was like the closest we could find to it to get that one, just to kind of tie the colors together. Same thing with the burgundy color. I thought that was a nice color to bring up just to complement it, to do that. And of course, you don't have to use the same letter font that we did. You can kind of play with the different ones that is all built in the software. Whether you want it to say hello or welcome or whatever, or your name. And that way you can kind of play with it. Same thing too, when I did the monogram up at the top, you can kind of play with that too. So we'll get into a lot of that next week. So you can always, maybe in between now and next week, kind of play with your software and look at and see what kind of fonts are built in to help you decide what kind of lettering you want to do with it. And one of the nice things too with the DTF transfer is that we can actually put that on first, and then we can do our other layering of the different vinyls on it, whatever, and it will not hurt the transfer. I put it through some testing the past couple weeks where I've actually didn't heat it the way you're supposed to see what it would be like and if it would release, and then how to fix it. So I did get one where it released a little bit because I didn't do it properly. And we will go over next week like how to fix it. So if by chance you didn't do it exactly the correct way, we can fix it. So thank you, Patty Joe. So and PJ. So that way, when you're doing your lettering too, because I did find out, and this is like my little oops. All right, I will share this one. That you notice that it's a little more textured where it got a little too much heat. So that's why it's a little more puckered. I tried playing with it. It's not coming off, but it's a little more ripply, which is kind of fun. But if you want it a little smoother to the puffiness, then you want to do it correctly. But I kind of like the way the offset looked for that shadow effect. And like with the background too. So whatever your options are, and we're going to go over all that next week and how to go and play with what buttons to push. So anybody got any questions? Miss you too, Amy. It's kind of quiet here with I'm the only one talking and I can't hear you like picking on me. So oh yeah, one thing too, when you're getting your PDF files, you also are getting the picture of that. So that's going to help us with our placement next week. So you will have that. So if you decide you wanted to go and play with that a little bit more and kind of see what you can do with it, because you don't have to position it exactly the same way I did. And I will strongly ask everybody not to start using the vinyl and starting to press on it until we do the class, because there's a couple things we want to go over that I don't have in your notes. So, and then too, when you play with your the cord, I specifically went and found this kind of macrame cord so that it unwinds easily. So if you want to do a little, you want to add beads to it, or you want to go and fray it more, you can. And it's a very strong 100% cotton cord that'll hold up well in weather. And you can also do kind of more fun things with it. If you, like I said, if you want to add extra knots to it, or beads or whatever kind of accessories. So I think this has been like going to be a really fun project for everybody. And it's something a little different that we haven't done before. So any questions? And you know what, since there's a couple late arrivals, we're going to go back to the box and just kind of review again what's in there in case you're joining us late. So when you open it up, you're going to find in here, you're going to have a pre-made flag or banner. All the hems are done. The casing's already attached. And you're going to find this piece of plastic coated in paper. Actually, this is our hanger bar. The paper is a protective barrier so it doesn't get shipped during transit. And I do have directions on how to remove it without any effort at all. It just comes right off. Um, and then also too, as a hanger, you got your macrame cord that we can go put through the holes to hang it up. You're also going to get 3 different pieces of puffy vinyl, of course, in the black, the green, and the mauve that we can use to go and apply to do our lettering. And then we're going to, of course, have the DTF transfer, the direct to film, that we can take that and then you can kind of position it onto your flag however you would like it to be positioned. So there's enough room for play on it, even though this is a very large print. There's also your instructions on how to sign in for the class, for your access, and also to where to go and download all of your paperwork. So, which is going to be like another little novel. And then we have our little shortcut cheat sheet on all the extra things you're going to need to work with. And then, of course, you can add extra notes to whatever you're doing and a reminder what time the class is going to start. And then once you sign in and you want to go check out, or if you want to early download your PDFs, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different PDFs going into detail again how to go and clean the hanger bar so that you can remove the lining from that. And Sandy, if you check your box again in case it got maybe slipped in the side, because that's where mine was. It got wedged in. And if you still don't have it, just go to support@amysews and email us and we can get you one. Okay. Then it goes into detail about how to iron or actually press the transfer on, also with the puffy foam, and then how to go and do the lettering. There's a separate handout for that, and how to do the offsetting and how to do placement and sizing and how to use the software to help us to do that. And it goes into a lot of detail. So there's a lot of pictures for you so that if you have any question about how to do it, and even I'm going into how to merging pieces so it's all one continuous piece. As you can see with like on my lettering on this one, how all the black just flows into the next. There's no seam. So I kind of review how to do the welding. So if it's kind of new to you, it's like it's a good learning tool. And those who have been doing it for years, it's a little refresher. And we'll go into a lot about placement and how to set your software up so that you can get a really nice flawless application. Put everything back in the little box. And as a little reminder that this is just one version that I did. And I just chose to do a basic block type of lettering for that. Oh, and you have a great Sandy. I was hoping, no problem. Don't apologize. That's one of the reasons why when we set the hanger bars in the box, we didn't want to remove the paper backing because this way it's going to protect it in case it got shuffled around. And with the paper backing, it is kind of easy to kind of confuse that also with the cardboard box inside because they're a similar color. But no apologies necessary, Sandy. I'm just glad you have it. So that being said, anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? And hopefully next week when we have our class, Mrs. Bachman will be back so we can have a really great class with her in person. Oh, thank you, Vicky. Appreciate it. Anytime too, you if anybody that's a club member has an idea for what you like to like a project wise or want to learn, just email us at support at Amy's Hose, and because we'd like to hear your comments and what things you like to work on and try to do, and of course share with your friends because I think this is going to be kind of popular because it's a really nice size banner. It's not small. So this will, can easily see it out from the street, like when you hang it up on your door, if you did it that way, and or even if you wanted to, say, wall mount it, you can do that also. And it's a standard size width, so that if you want to get a garden type of hanger and have it sitting out, well, like say by the street or whatever, you can pick up one of those for that too. So, and of course, the alternate version. Yes, I did. I think it was this one, Vicky. I took it home and I washed it just to see before, and then I did a separate one with the this one because I wanted to see first if the DTF would have any issues. Not at all. It came right out of the dryer, nice and smooth. Didn't even have to iron it. And then this one, I did wash it also. I did it. Okay, we probably should hand wash it, but I thought I'm going to risk it. So I actually threw it in the washer with some other clothes with on a delicate setting. So I had on some basic stuff just to go, and so it wasn't all by itself. Basically, I wanted to see if there was any kind of abrasion that may happen to it just from the other fabrics rubbing against it. Nothing came off. So I think that's part of it. If you bond it well, and I would suggest to, if you're concerned about getting a good bond, because one I did, one I didn't. I did pre-wash one flag first, just to remove any sizing, any kind of finishes that might have been on it. And another one, I took it right out of the package and I didn't change anything to it. And what I thought was interesting, even after I laundered it, the fabric finish looked the same. So I don't think there's any really kind of harsh coatings because sometimes when you buy something in the store, they have like a finish to the fabric, and then once the first time you launder it, it never looks the same. Quite often, like polished cottons are really good for that. So it has the kind of finish that they put on in the factory. Like I said, one I pre-washed, one I didn't, and then of course applied the vinyls to it, laundered them both, no change. So I think provided you use the proper heat and pressure, you'll get a good bond. Yes. Okay. Vicky has a great question. She asked if we can use a heat press for this. In your directions, we cover both a heat press and an iron. So whether you're going to use a standard household iron or you want to use a heat press, we have directions for both. So yes, and I did do both. When I worked with the DTF print, I did one with an iron, one with a heat press. When I was doing the puffy foam, it was like vinyl with it. One I did with the heat press and one I did with an iron. And I wrote down anything that I ran into. So this way you have the best of both. Because not everybody has a heat press. So that's why I thought we wanted to make the project very user friendly. So that way, if a person did have a heat press, you got all your directions right there. And if you don't, if you just use a regular household iron, you have that also. Because one of the things I do whenever I'm working with a household iron, I usually drop my ironing board, which is what most people don't do. And by doing that, you need to have a good pressure on it as well as heat. And by lowering your ironing board, you can lean into it better and get better even pressure that way. And that's why I thought I'm going to write down directions for both. So we got the best of both, Vicky. So I hope that helps. Okay. Anybody else? Oh, and Sandy, you the hanger bar. I'll check with Zach tomorrow to see if we can get you more of those hanger bars because I think he did a really good job of producing them. So that was something produced here in house. So this kind of neat thing here at Dingy Bachman. And, oh, Vicky, you're more than welcome. So I just hope you enjoy doing the project next week. And like I said, if you want to kind of pre-read your PDFs, that's okay too. But we're going to go over a lot of that next week. And I really liked some of the things I discovered about the software. That made it a lot easier to work and made it even a lot more fun to do that too. Oh, thank you, Sandy. Well, we try to be a little, I don't know, clever, but we try to be a little unique, different. And what I think works really well with Amy and I is we both see things from two different sides. So I think you get like the whole package when you get the box like this. So it's kind of unique. And I know I haven't got a chance to talk with Amy yet, but I kind of got a really good idea for a box coming up. And it's going to have a couple projects. So it has one theme, but this time instead of like, because a lot of times we have like one project per box, usually because they're very involved. And I was thinking of doing a couple unique, simpler projects and having them all under one kind of global umbrella type of title. So that's all I'm going to give you the sneak peek of right now is that. So it's going to be kind of fun and hopefully you all like it too. So, okay. Anything else? Any other questions? So let's go over here again. So just a little reminder, that's one of the two. And if you look in your Scan and Cut software, there's so many different fonts that you can choose from. So actually, here's like a sample of 3 different types of fonts that you can do. And again, you don't have to do it exactly the way I did it. And if you wanted to, you probably could even go for 3 colors at once. It's a little much, but then again, it's yours. And even like the way I kind of had that all filled in, just to give it more of a solid background. Sometimes you can play with it and have it a little more open, like I have on this one here. So it's going to be whatever you like, whatever kind of drives you to do something unique and different. Okay, so any other questions? So I will. We'll probably have the information for you, Sandy, too, by next week about getting the same kind of hanger bar again. Because, like I said, we may have a couple left in stock too. So, and possibly even flags. I'm not sure how many we have of those, but that was a nice little find to get those, especially since they're all made for us. Okay, that being said, looks like everybody's quiet tonight, so again, just a little reminder, make sure for next week it's 6:00 Eastern. And be sure to sign in early. And if you want, maybe like print out your PDFs ahead of time, and we'll go over those a little bit. And we definitely will be reviewing how to do the pressing with the heat press and with your iron. Yeah, Sandy, to that, since you do have that print, like you do get the bitmap for that, you could actually resize it if you wanted the DTF a little bit different, especially too if you do go with a bigger flag too, if you want it even bigger. So that's one of the other reasons why you got that too. So anyway, it sounds like you're already thinking of another project, which is always a good thing. So that being said, I guess that's it for our questions. So hopefully didn't overload you all tonight. So again, oh, thank you, Carol. It's going to be fun next week. So be sure to tune in 6 Eastern, and we'll go over with Amy how to do the projects in various different ways, and we'll even have the software up so we can do it. If the files aren't up yet, they should be up they should be shortly. So I'm not sure with I know with the storms we've been having here, it's kind of been playing around with our internet and our Wi-Fi a little bit. So they'll be up shortly, so if they haven't already been posted. Okay, just got to bear with us on that too. Okay. So thank you all for watching and for being here. And please share with us your banners and flags once you get done with it, because I'd love to see what everybody does with it, especially like if you decide to add your name or your monogram like I did on the one too, and just kind of let it evolve and grow. And like I said, we'd love to see what you guys have done with it, and be sure to share the project with your friends too. Yeah, thank you, Dora. And it is too quiet without Amy. It's a lot more fun when she's here. So she'll be back next week. So we'll be a lot more fun during class that way too. Okay. That being said, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight for the box opening. And we will see you all next Tuesday for the class where we're going to have a lot of fun. So that being said, again, thanks for coming. Thanks for being a box subscriber. And be sure to share your love of the subscription with your friends. And remember, as Amy would say, the more you know, the more you sow, the more you scan, the more you can, right? So take care, and we will see you next week. Thanks for watching.